Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Ask Brian! I did not order that music. That's better! Yes, this is the first episode of Ask Brian where I answer the questions you guys asked me on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and other things like that. So, okay. Let's get started. This first one comes from Lindy E2, and she writes, "Hey Brian, here's my question for you. What is your favorite cartoon character?" That's a toughie. Because you're asking me to choose one character out of like my favorite thing in the media, which is cartoons. Short answer, I don't have one in particular. I will say that some of my favorites are characters like Mickey and Goofy. Those are really high up on my list. Pumbaa, Pooh, Dumbo, the Genie, and one that's not Disney is actually Horton, the elephant. Huge Dr. Seuss fan, he's always been my favorite. And also Po from Kung Fu Panda, like those, like 8, and Olaf, 9. Let's add one more, we'll make it like my top 10. And then Baloo. Do I want to put Baloo? I do love Baloo. Yeah, I'm gonna say Baloo. Okay, so there's my top 10. And even then, I can still throw more in there. This question is from Normal83. And also, before I answer the question, Normal83, did you get your name from Normal off of Garfield? Because that would be stinking awesome. Write me back if you did. I think that's just awesome. Okay, Normal83 asks, which character took you the longest time to really grasp? And why was it so difficult? There was a couple that took a long time for me to grasp. Number one, I would say, is Winnie the Pooh. He took me 2 months to figure out how to sound like. And that's because you have to balance two extremes when you're doing Pooh, because he doesn't really have a high voice and he doesn't have a low voice. He's like in the middle, so I'm having to use my high register and my low register at the exact same time. There's a lot of times I'd go too high or I'd go too low and it would just sound odd. Like I would say, "Oh, I want some honey," or "Oh, I want some honey," and it's like, it's right in the middle. "Oh, I want some honey." And it's difficult to balance the two, the high voice and the low voice simultaneously. Another character took me a long time to do is Donald Duck. Good night, Donald Duck. That one took me about 3 months, and even then, I'm still not 100% sure if I'm 100% on target. I'm really close, but I don't know if I'm 100% there.
So I do gotta definitely write down. You can be the judge and tell me how close I am to Donald Duck. You said it, Donald Duck!
And that one took forever. It's just because you're having to learn how to speak through an air pocket in the side of your mouth. I've always been able to make sounds out of it, but to speak words has been difficult. Next up, we have Mark Gassis. And Mark Gassis writes, when did you first start doing voice impressions, and what character do you think you are best at impersonating? I got started when I was 13. The very first voice I learned how to do was Scooby-Doo. I was watching Full House, I heard Joey Gladstone do it, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do that. And then I was like, oh, I can do Scooby-Doo. It was weird. I thought this was something every normal person could do, as every normal person can sound like cartoon characters. What character do I think I'm best at impersonating? Well, I can imitate Tom and Jerry for you perfectly right now. Want to hear me do them again? I guess the ones I'd have to say I feel like I'm the best at are Tigger, Pooh, Pete, Pumbaa, Mickey, King Julian. You guys haven't heard a lot of him. Scooby-Doo, Gollum, the Joker from Batman. Like, none of these I would say are perfect, but the ones I feel like I'm better at than others, I would probably put that list. This one is from Amy Vincent _12. How high and how low can your voice go? PSILY. I'm gonna guess that means I love you, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really hip on all the new lingo, but if that is the case, well then, thank you, Amy. I really appreciate that. And you're awesome too. Love from Brian. How high and low can I go? Do you mean like how high and how low can I go when I'm actually like speaking words, or when I'm strictly just making noises? Because that's very different.
I think probably about right here is about as high as I can possibly go. I can go a little higher, but even then you see it's kind of hard to, sustain this tone this high. It's also kind of early in the morning and I haven't really had a lot to drink, so we're gonna go with that.
But as high as I can actually make noises, that goes a lot higher. That's kind of the same sound I use for my hawk sound. Or when I'm trying to imitate that Dilophosaurus off Jurassic Park. Starts off with little. And then whenever the frills pop up, it's like. And like spits in his eyes. It's like. As far as how low I can go relatively low. Which is odd because I have a normally really high speaking voice, but.
When I want to go low, I can continue to go lower and lower. This is about as low as I can actually speak. A deep, resonating chamber.
So that's about as high and low I can go. I guess that's all we have for this episode. Any questions you guys have, what's my favorite color, what are my hobbies, blah, 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 whatever you want to ask, you can tweet it to me at WholeBKH, put it on this YouTube page, Facebook, I don't care, just ask me your questions. Just hashtag Ask Brian so I know it's for this. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.